The rage isn't dead, it's just been waiting, evolving over 2 decades. The 28 Trilogy has redefined what zombie horror looks like. But which entry is the standout? Which one is the best? That's what we're discussing today on the 28 Films Ranked. Hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Screen Time. I'm your host Matt. Alright, so the 28 Trilogy. It's iconic, it's incredible, but which one stands out the best? Before we get into it, leave a like, comment below. Do you agree with me? Let me know. Alright, so at number 3 is 28 Weeks Later. Not directed by Danny Boyle, the only film in the franchise that isn't. This sequel trades a more sentimental and human story for more spectacle, and it's definitely a more mainstream approach. The opening sequence is absolutely killer. The suspense of this man running through a field away from his family and the infected is incredible to watch. But after that, it falls short in most departments. In the, heart area, in the character building area, it just doesn't land. It trades those kind of emotional sequences for more bombastic action rather than emotional growth. The US military is in this one. They go to Europe, they carve out a piece of London to create a refuge for the survivors. More survivors come, and they cause an outbreak, and that's where, stuff really hits the fan. What follows is gory set pieces, chaos, and more helicopters than heart. Performances from Rose Byrne and Jeremy Renner are solid, but the script doesn't give them much to work with, and whilst the visuals are sleek for that era, the story feels bland and cookie cutter-esque. It's just a basic zombie flick rather than, what we're used to based on the other entries. Which brings me to number 2. Do you know what it is? Let me know down in the comments below. But it is 28 Days Later, the original, directed by Danny Boyle. It's not just a zombie flick, it's a genre reset. Danny Boyle brought us the infected. They run, they don't walk, they don't crawl, they run. And it's absolutely terrifying, babes. So in a post-apocalyptic London, that feels terrifyingly real, and a story that, for all the right reasons, remains painfully human. From the moment Cillian Murphy wakes up in a deserted London to those painfully terrifying moments in the mansion, we're plunged into a world that feels eerily close to our own. There's no backstory dump. We are planted in that universe and expected to understand what's going on when the characters discover it themselves. The cinematography is bleak. They use a digital camera. It's, dreary, it's dark, it's a bit sad, but that adds to the vibe of the film. The washed out digital look matches the hopelessness of a society on the brink of destruction. Boyle doesn't want you to feel hope. There's no hope in this one. It's all devastation. The realization that no one's coming to help you, and that kind of lingers with you as an audience member. Cillian Murphy and Naomi Harris anchor the film with performances that are full of tension and grief, with subtle hints of hope. Yes, some of the VFX are out of date, but for a film made on an $8 million budget, you'd expect that. This is a stripped-back horror film with purpose, and it paved the way for everything to come that we've seen in recent years. So, the next one. You might know what my number 1 is, but it is 28 Years Later. So Danny Boyle returns, and he delivers not what you'd expect or that was advertised. This isn't just a zombie film. It's a film full of grief at the cost of survival. On a remote island, we follow a family that's trying to survive many years after the outbreak. A lot of the older generation remember the good old days, and a lot of the kids don't really understand what they're missing out on. We follow Spike, a child who experiences his first time out with his father and then decides to go out again with his mother to find a doctor. A man crushed by guilt, holding onto his family, is who Aaron Taylor-Johnson plays. Now, he is not the main lead, but he is and does provide a great performance. The main lead title does go to a really great performance from Alfie Williams, a masterclass, really, in, child acting and filling that void, if you would say. Lost child, feeling the heartache of the infected world and kind of confused of the realization of what has happened to that outside world. So this is a quiet horror film, and it's, I think, all the better for it. The surprise are those quieter moments. Jodie Comer absolutely commands the third act. Her scenes with Ralph Fiennes, who, plays that strange, eccentric prophet / manic survival kind of guru, are incredible, tense, weird, and actually pretty powerful. There are a standout train sequence, which is the batshit crazy zombie sequence. That is incredible. And then the tone shifts. I loved this kind of heartfelt story, but it does slow down a bit. There are moments where it kind of forgets that it's a zombie film, but everything else is absolutely phenomenal that I am keen for the next installment coming out next year. So, those are my thoughts on the 28 trilogy. Let me know yours down in the comments below. Let me know if you agreed or if you disagreed. I'd love to hear it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.